Hi everybody, nice to have you here. Today I want to talk about the big question. What is permaculture? And why is it that everybody explains it different? Well, it was confusing a little bit for me in the beginning, but then when I understood how it worked, it was very clear. It was very clear. So, for me, permaculture is about building your system that supports you with everything you need. So first time I read it, I thought, wow, that's big. That's really interesting. I have to read more about it. You built a system that supports you with everything you need. Wow. Okay. So this is why it's different, because different people need different things, and more, they like different things. And depending on where you are in the world, you need also different things and you want different things. The climate is not the same everywhere, and your surroundings is different. So this explains why people explained what permaculture is differently. It's also what in the design you fall in love with, and then you look around it from and look at permaculture from those eyes, and then it's also become different. Now there is, when when we talk about support, then of course we have things in permaculture that is same for everybody, and these things become classical, we say, because there are things that everybody need, and then there is all the other things. So for many, permaculture is the same as ecological gardening, and that is somehow logical, but it's not everything in permaculture, far from it. So it's one element in permaculture. And because there are a lot of people in the world who love gardening, and they read things and try to find new things about gardening, they come up with the word permaculture, and then they go down the rabbit hole and they see here how they can expand their passion for gardening into much more and bigger things, so they can develop their gardening much more. So there are different elements that we want to work with in permaculture. So let's say we like gardening and we would like to grow our own vegetables or our own food. Behind me here I have my beginning of the food forest, for example. So I'm liking this element, building a food forest, fruit trees and nut trees and things like that. And let's say you create food. What happens here? Yes, it's not only about creating and growing food, you also have to take care of it, to eat it, yes? So suddenly you need to learn skills about being a good chef. And you also need to be good at conserving it, taking care of your vegetables and fruits and so on. So that is also one element. And then it grows because then you need a kitchen. And where should the kitchen be? Well, it should be close to the vegetables. That's his logic, not being on the other side of the world. So you start to see a logic here in movements, where you are, where you have your stuff, and the connection between the kitchen and the vegetables. And when you have a kitchen, you have the oven, you have and so on, where you cook things. And this needs heat or electricity. And then you come into that area. Okay, where do I have sources for this? Should I have wood? Should I cut wood, or should I have a solar panel for it? And then that is one part of the system, or become one part of your system. If you live differently, then it's differently. But where I am, it's cold in winter time, so I need this kind of stuff. And then you also have the house, and you have, because the kitchen must be somewhere. Of course it could be outside, but normally it's inside, and then it's in the house, and that is the same heating for the house as for the kitchen. So then you connect these things, so suddenly your energy system and your food system and your vegetable garden is come merging into this system. So this is one way of looking at it, how it integrates if you come from the idea of you want to grow food. Some like other aspects. Behind me here I have the beginning of a lake that we have started to build, or it's built but now it needs water. So some come in from another angle. They like water, because water is also an element that we need. Where do we get the water from? Do we have fresh water? What can I build here, and what can I do to sustain myself with water for my vegetables, for myself? And how much do I want to engage in it? I wanted to engage much in it to have my own lake, because in summertime here is warm. It's hot. It's hot. So then I want to swim in the lake to get cool. So it's my cooling system for me. My God, they have eaten everything here. Oh, the elk have been here. Ah, crazy. Yeah. So, different people, different system, and there are so many parts that you can choose between inside permaculture. So this makes some part is more popular than others, and so when people from outside look at it, these parts becomes what permaculture is. That is permaculture. Growing vegetables in a no-dig bed. That is permaculture. No, it don't need to be, but it's a nice thing because it's ecological. You support your system. You build your system in a sustainable way. So some other, they like people. So they want to engage more in people. They don't only want to be talking to their plants. So they have another view of permaculture. So they have the social view of it. So they want to integrate themselves with other people who do these things we do in permaculture. So they start to create system inside of that between people. One have eggs, one is very good at cooking, and the third like to eat, but he's very funny. So these three goes together, and create a small party, and just for fun. Sorry, you share. You have this fair share. You share with others your knowledge, your products that you do, and we helping each other and creating a sustainable system around some of your friends or some of the people who share your interests, your neighbors and so on. So my take of it is the good way, or a good way to design your personal system to support yourself, your nature around you, and the people around you. And I hope you also find that very intriguing and start to think about, what is your system? Do I have a system? Yes, of course, everybody is a system, but do you have control over it? Is it a system that you want to be in. So you don't have to be, like I said, it's a sustain yourself 100%. No, you take some piece of it, and then you start with that piece that you think is more interesting, and then you be very good at that. You don't have to be 100% permaculture in every aspect of your life. That's maybe be a little bit boring. You become a crazy person, only talking about permaculture all the time, a little bit like me, but some part is a very good start. So I hope this helping you a little bit, and now for me this video is that I can start to talk about the different aspects or the parts of permaculture, so we know what we can choose between, all the fantastic things we can do and put inside of our own system, what you can put into your personal system. Have a good day.